We are an at-home hockey development program. Basically, we want to help players train at home. And our mindset is, skills developed over time. So that comes from practicing at home, working on your stick handling, working on your hockey IQ, your mindset.
You're racing.
This is our competition. So some of the coaches that we work with are Lindsay Fry Hockey. She is former Team USA and Harvard hockey player. She is one of our mindset coaches who is actually running a program right now called Project Mindset. And she is here to help you train the mental side of the game. High-end hockey, Elevate 02, Blink goaltending, you name it. We have coaches all over the globe, and they send in skill videos to help players train. So the Project Hockey Zooms, what we're doing right now, we've had about 25 guests over the past year and a half, ranging from Olympic to NHL to NCAA to World Junior, you name it. Tonight, obviously, big guest with Brendan Furry, rising star at Minnesota State Mankato. Should have a good one coming up again soon. The Project Hockey community, what is this? On the right here, this is our app. So every day our members can go on our app and they can do the workout, train with their friends, their teammates, whoever else is signed up on it, and players around the world. So in there, it's a super safe place for players to train. We kind of like to think of it as like a Facebook for hockey players training at home. All right. The mindset work. This right here, Lauren Williams played at Wisconsin. She's playing overseas right now.
What's up, Project Hockey members? I'm Coach Lauren, and I'm so excited to bring you guys today's.
So these are the kind of things where it's a short 15-second, sometimes to 2-3 minute video on just giving you tips. How can you gain an edge competitively? How do you bounce back from a shift when you make a mistake? Things along those lines. Hockey IQ is the same concept. So we have hockey IQ videos.
Videos taking a look at how elite players turn nothing plays into 2-on-1s and create scoring opportunities. So we can see here off the rush, Patrick Kane, he recognizes he's.
So these are sent in from our coaches, and the goal here is to help players develop and learn tips and tricks from people other than just, their coaches that they're always hearing from. Gain that competitive edge from coaches with experience that have played and coached, professionally or up the NCAA ranks. Our warm-up, this is pretty straightforward. All of our workouts are super simple. They can be done with just a ball and a stick. So, here we have a warm-up right here. Simple, a couple of stick handling drills. Right here is kind of what it looks like. And all of our videos are linked to YouTube. Simple videos. That's Kyle Loft right there from Bemidji State, one of our Project Hockey athletes. Our strength sessions, same thing, pretty simple. They can be done with just a stick and a ball, mostly just body weight stuff, wall sit, squat. Click the link, easy 15-second video. Here's how you do it. Skill sets, this is kind of the last part of the workouts.
What's going on, Hockey World? Project Hockey. Coach, you checking in with your skill set section of the week.
That is Denny Heath, our founder, who started this and also played at Minnesota State Mankato. The goal of these is help you develop your skills at home. Work on those stick handling drills. Improve your range of motion, improve your hand-eye. Same thing, super simple, 1 minute, 2 minute demo videos put into our workouts every day. Challenges, similar to the community, you can compete with players all around the world and track your progress. So this is what the progress tracking looks like. Same thing, go in. You can log your result. Took me 8 minutes and 33 seconds to do this video. RX versus scaled is just, are you doing it with a limitation? So in this case, someone had their knee bugging them for that drill. And then lastly, before I turn it over, we have the exact same thing for goalies. This is one of our coaches, Evan Karambelis, who also played at Minnesota State Mankato. He is the head coach for our goalie program.
This is Coach Evan Karambelis of Project Hockey, and I'm here to talk to you about the most important position of the game, yet often the most overlooked, the goalie. That's why we're excited to bring accessible, elite level goalie training to anybody who wants to take their game to the next level. All you need is what you already have at home and a desire to get better. To all of you between the pipes, we are fired up to offer goalie-specific strength training, hand-eye coordination.
So, like I said, that's the same program for our goalies. I will shoot you an email with a link to our membership, and everyone on this call will get a 14-day free trial to check it out. If you are already a member, you know how this works. Make sure you're doing the work, getting better. The season is right around the corner. And yeah, just put your head down and keep improving. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to George and Brendan for the interview. All right.
All right. Great presentation, Josh. So guys, tonight we have a special guest, Brendan Furry, who plays hockey at Minnesota State. Just had an unbelievable season with them. Such a good season that he was able to go to St. Louis Blues development camp. Is expected to have another great season at Mankato. Brendan, thanks for joining us tonight.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So before we get going with the questions to get to know you, could you just talk about like what you saw in the presentation, how you think that this would help a lot of youth hockey players?
I guess the biggest thing, especially working really close with Danny, I like the fact that they're able to, expanding the game of hockey, especially to the, showing the young kids that there's, it doesn't just come overnight. It's all about, skill development. We talked about, it's not just one day. It takes time and you got to work at it every day. So I think that's kind of the whole mission with Project Hockey, is to show kids that, our goal here is to, show kids that, you got to put in the work to get better at the game. And so I think that was a huge part of, when I talked to Danny and partnering with Project Hockey, was just, expanding the game and really just showing kids and, even, teenagers and people that want to, move on in the next level. Just kind of, I guess, what the next step is and what they're willing to do for it. So I think it's a good guideline for it.
Definitely, totally agree. And thanks for expanding upon that. So let's get to know you. Could you talk about where you're from and what the hockey culture was like there? Maybe some players you grew up idolizing, teams also.
Yeah, so I'm from Toledo, Ohio. Born and raised there. Grew up hockey, huge Detroit Red Wings fan. Being 45 minutes from Detroit, we would always shoot up to the Joe and watch. Actually, I'm named after Brendan Shanahan, so that's a unique fact. But always idolized Pavel Datsyuk and his game. I always thought he was, a fabulous player with the puck. He call him the Magic Man. So that's kind of where it all started. Hockey in the area, definitely a little different in Ohio compared to where I'm at right now, Minnesota. People live and breathe hockey here. In Ohio, it's a little bit different. There's not much knowledge about the next level. So not many kids and I would say hockey players know what it takes to get to the next level. So that's another cool part about, being a part of Project Hockey and expanding this knowledge to kids. And grew up with players, Ben Schoen, he's over at Penn State right now. Tanner Dickinson, he's drafted to St. Louis Blues. Let's see who else. Joey Sofo just played at St. Thomas. So I was able to, work out and skate with those guys every day, and they pushed me to be better. And that's kind of like, a little bit of my background. Played high school hockey for a little bit, and then I was able to move on to junior hockey.
Yeah, sounds like you had a lot of hockey surrounded you and a lot of great players, and obviously great players to look up to. And that's pretty awesome. You're named after an NHL legend.
Yeah.
And Brendan Shanahan continues to grow on with the Maple Leafs. So
right.
Before you went to Minnesota State, you were with the Omaha Lancers in the USHL. During that time, you were able to be a captain. Could you just talk about what the keys are to being a leader, because no matter where you play in hockey, whatever the age level is, you're gonna have to step up and be a leader at some point.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess I was able to get a little bit of experience in high school. I had a A on my chest, and at that time, you're so young, you don't really know this, like the significance of having a letter on your chest and being a leader. And so when I was able to take the role of a leader at Omaha, there's a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs. I was able to, take the downs and learn from them, and learn from the positives. And, to be a leader, it's not something where you go out of your way to, just to have the letter on your chest. It's got to be natural, and it's got to come, from within. And you got to be able to, chime into what it takes to be a good teammate, to be, your everyday, what you're going to do every day. Guys look up to you as a leader. So being able to, show that every single day, eating right, sleeping, not going out and partying, doing little things like that, where you're able to just kind of dial it in and focus on it, and everyone looks up to you. And so that's a huge thing of being a leader. You don't have to have a letter on your chest to be a leader either. So I think that's really important, where, kids, you don't have to push for it. You don't have to push to be a leader. It kind of comes natural, and you can learn from your mistakes in your past, and you can really apply it. And I take that now here at Minnesota State, being an upperclassman and a senior, just being able to show these young guys kind of the ropes and how Minnesota State works and what we do to create a winning culture here. So it's really about your image and how they look at you, and everyone's always watching what you do. So your work ethic and practice and games and what you do off the ice really shows. And I think that's the true core to being a leader.
It's definitely a great answer, and for sure anyone at any level can learn from that example. So you made a decision to go to Minnesota State for college hockey. Could you just take me through that process and what made you choose Minnesota State?
Yeah, so it was a little bit like a unique process for me. Before I went and played my first year of juniors in Omaha, I was originally committed to Niagara University, and super thankful for the opportunity for them and the offer I got from them. I went through a little bit of a rough season with my shoulder. I ended up having shoulder surgery after my first season. And instead of going into school, I made the decision to go back to juniors in Omaha for my second year. And in that time, I decided that I don't think Niagara was the right fit for me. And like I said, I'm very thankful for them. And so at that time, my options opened up during my second season, and I was able to talk with Minnesota State, and really the coaching staff here and the culture they have, and I kind of hinted at it and talked about it a little bit, is everything that I wanted. I got a coach here that pushes me. He might get under my skin a little bit, but he pushes me to be my best, and he holds me accountable for everything. And that's the same with our coaching staff and even our teammates. We all hold each other accountable. And so during in that second year of juniors, I really saw that Minnesota State was the right fit for me, and our opportunity to wear that jersey every weekend, and hopefully we continue to keep growing.
Yeah, definitely. It's, for sure worked out so far, and a lot of good things have happened in a Minnesota State jersey for you. In terms of making that decision, could you just elaborate on, to the younger crowd, how important, the process of, or the keys to making that tough decision of, hey, I can go play on this team with my friends, or, I can go play on this team, and that can really set me up for my future goals, and, how to make that tough decision.
Yeah. So I think the most important part when you're going through the decision-making process for your school is, you got to find, like you said, like what's that best fit for you, and what culture are you going to put yourself into that's going to, set yourself up for success. I think the biggest thing, I was able to do was put myself in the shoes, and I was able to see, just what it was like to be a Minnesota State Maverick. And a lot of kids, like you said, you want to go to school with your friends and stuff. And but it really comes down to what's best for you. And some people go for the school, but if you really want to take that next step to the next level, you got to put yourself in a situation where, you got a great strength coach, you got a staff that cares about you, you good, trainer, and your coaching staff. And also a successful program. You want to go to a successful program. You want to be at a program that's at the top every single year. Success definitely shows at the next level, and scouts and pros, they love winners. And so it's not truly all about just, it's fun. College is fun. It's awesome. Everyone, loves college hockey, and it's a great time. And, the memories you make here are awesome, but at the same time, it's a job. And so just, I guess the biggest piece of advice I'd give to young kids is do what's best for you. Don't do what's best for anyone else. Like I said, I may have took a step too quick for myself, and I realized that it wasn't the right fit for me. So take the time, go through your pros and cons, and really just figure out what's the best fit for you. And all around, I'm very thankful for my opportunity here. And I know that I have the right fit, and it set me up for success.
Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely continuing to work out. That's definitely great advice that you've just given to our audience. So what are the keys to playing on a new team, or advice that you could give to this crowd? Because I think, especially in college and maybe as you get older, if you go to a private school or a different school, it's not just hockey. You're trying to adapt to a new school and then play hockey as well. What are the keys to figuring both of them out?
The biggest thing is, I think a lot of young kids, and I was definitely guilty of it, but the biggest thing is you don't want to overthink it too much. You don't want to go in and be, I got to do this. I got to do this to impress my teammates. I got to do this to impress my coaches. You got to go in and you got to set yourself up for success, as we talked about. And that means, like, if you're going into a new school, getting your academics on track, making sure you're taking care of your academics. And a lot of coaches and a lot of pro athletes all around, they care about your academics, and they look at that, like, those things. So being able to, I would say, create like a schedule and a routine for yourself. And you don't have to try to fit in right away. You don't have to go and step out of your comfort zone. Like, I would say the biggest piece I learned is, like, when freshmen come in now, sometimes their biggest downfall right away is they try to do too much to impress. And I would say the biggest thing is to go in and do what you did that got you there, and stick to that. And so that's being a good person off the ice, and why you got recruited to that school, and then translating that to the game and doing what you've done. Don't overdo your game on the ice. I would say overall, just making sure that you've done what, just keep doing what you've been doing. You've got there already. Don't change your game. And actually, it was really cool. I was just watching the Manti Te'o documentary, the little crazy thing on Netflix, and he makes a statement where he's like, he made his first play in the game, and he knew that he was meant to be there. And I think that's just the thing, is getting that confidence and knowing that you're meant to be there. And a lot of kids struggle with that right away. And so I would say that, just be confident in yourself and do what, you've done to get there. And that would be my most important message.
Yeah, definitely. I think that to tie it together, just keep working hard no matter what aspect you're in school or sports, and it's going to work out. So you made a big leap between your freshman and sophomore season. I know hockey players don't like to talk about points, but you pretty much tripled your points total from freshman to sophomore. I mean, what's just the key to making a big leap from your first season with the team to the next?
Being able to be coachable and to learn from to learn from your past, and to take what you've done so far and to not be satisfied with it, and to keep growing and keep working at it. I know a lot of the times as my season went on, my first year, I was with coach a lot. We were going through film. We were breaking down my game and what was the next step. What did I need to work on in the summer? So taking the things in one season and then applying that to your next summer training. And then as I went into my second year and had a really good year, it was nonstop training, and it was nonstop everything that I did the first year, but I applied it to the game, and I was able to grow on my game and take those things in my coaching, like the coaching points and the videos and everything like that. And it really changed my game around. Obviously, when you're playing the same league for, a couple of years, you get some confidence in that. So being able to just, I would say, coachable, being able to be taught and learn and take that and not take it in a negative way when they come at you. And when you're able to do that, I think that's just, I think the game of life in general. I think there's a lot of negativity right now that goes around. And if you're able to take a step back and just look at the positive in things and really just focus on being able to be coachable and apply those things to your life instead of just like leaving them off to the side and being all grumpy about it, taking it, learning from it and applying it is a huge thing. And I was able to do that. I worked on my game. I went from I wouldn't say, not a full 200-foot player, but I learned how to be a full 200-foot player. I learned how to play defense first. I learned how to take important faceoffs, have a good stick in the D zone. And then, I worked offensively on shooting more pucks. I like to call it, Gretzky's office. That's where I like to play. And I worked on that part of my game is being heavy in the corners and not letting, winning puck battles and not letting people knock me off the puck. So those are the steps I took this year. And this year I only learned to, I only plan to, grow and learn from last year and to use everything that I learned this year and, use it next year and hopefully have a really good season from it.
That's a definitely great way to approach it. Great things that all these people on the call can take note of. Like you said, keep shooting pucks. Fabian Lysel said that in one of our interviews not too long ago, and he was scoring goals left and right. And for Team Sweden in the World Junior Championships, it applies to everywhere in hockey. So could you just take us through your approach for stepping up with a new team this year? Minnesota State, you guys went to the national championship last year, but guys like Dryden McKay's not coming back, losing some key players on offense. How are you approaching this offseason to fill those voids? And what advice do you have to those who have to eventually step up for those who aren't going to be on a team one day?
Yeah. So the biggest thing right now we're looking forward to is we're the only team in college hockey actually that didn't have anyone go into the NCAA portal, or we took anyone out of the NCAA portal. So I think that really says a lot about our culture and what our coaches have set up here and how they recruit. And I think that's a really cool piece because we have a lot of guys, a lot of veterans that are coming back. And like our sophomores, they're going to have to step up, from being a freshman. They're going to have to take a huge step this year and they're going to have to produce and they're going to have to take that role. And I think learning from their freshman year, like we talked about, they're going to come in, they know what it takes to win. We were at the biggest stage of them all. And we know the hard work it took to get there. And I think with our coaching style, the coaches we have and how hard we push each other here, I don't think there's going to be a real issue for us. We're really looking forward to it. We got another really good goalie coming in. So really excited. When you lose someone like Dryden McKay and Nathan Smith and Julian Napravnik, guys like that, who are real, top players in college hockey. That's tough, but being able to look past that and then when you're a young guy or a junior going into senior or sophomore going into junior year, you got to look to be a game changer. You got to want to be a game changer. And I think that comes a little bit of having some confidence. And it's great that Project Hockey has, a mental health coach and you're able to, figure out what it takes to gain some confidence in yourself. And so I would say things like that and really just being excited about it, being excited to take that next step and to be, you want to be a difference maker for a team. And so when we were able to get to the national stage, everyone knew how hard we worked and just learning from that and hopefully growing on it and getting to the big stage and, finishing the job.
Yeah, for sure. It should definitely be another exciting season in Minnesota State. So you got to go to St. Louis Blues development camp this year. Could you just talk about what that experience was like? And in addition, just advice for people that might have to go through something, like a tryout or even a game where they know there's a ton of coaches watching, because that camp for you, it's a great camp to get better, but there's also a lot of eyes on you.
Yeah. That's another thing that I hinted on is doing what you do to get what I did to get there. And so the St. Louis Blues camp was great. It was very educational. They taught us what it takes to be a pro athlete, especially for the St. Louis Blues and what they look for in their players. And it's a job. It's a 24/7 job. You got to be on it all the time. Sleep, nutrition, hydrating yourself, taking care of your body, stretching, rolling out, things like that. It's an everyday job. And so when you get there, it's not about, like I said, you're not going in to try to impress. You just got to go and play your game. You're obviously there for a reason. They liked you. They saw something in you. And that goes for any tryout. You got to find a way to stick out. There's so many players, and I think the stats like 1% of hockey players play in the NHL one day. So you got to find a way to stick out, and you got to find your niche to, what you're going to be and what you're going to create yourself to be as a hockey player. And you got to live by that, and you got to ride it. And I think it's very simple. Honestly, it's do what you've done so far and keep growing on it. And then, from there on out, hopefully you just keep growing from it, and that's that.
It's a great way to look at it, and you definitely earned it to go to that camp and bright things ahead with your hockey career. So my last question is involving Minnesota State hockey and just playing schedules. You guys have a lot of games. I'm sure you already have your calendar marked, the Minnesota schools, but you guys also got to go, out to a place like Arizona and play hockey, where I'm sure could be a distraction because you guys are in the cold weather all year round. But what's just the key to making sure every game is a must circle?
Yeah, especially in college hockey when you got your rankings and every game matters. So you got to treat every day like it matters. You can't have a day off, and that's our mentality here at Minnesota State. Is we take it one day at a time. Tomorrow's not here, and yesterday's gone, and all we can do is focus on today. That's at every practice, with our academics, anything. That's just the way we do things around here. And so like being on a schedule, who you're playing, and it's exciting to go and travel. We get to play the Gophers this year. We've knocked them out 2 years in a row and ended their season. So we know there's bad blood there. It's going to be exciting to play there. We get to go to Arizona State in their new arena. So it's going to be really cool to be able to be a part of that. But besides the point, you got to just focus on what's ahead of you. And right now, we know our first games are against the Gophers, but all we can do today is get better and we, practice and do what we got to do today. Tomorrow we have workouts in the morning, we'll just focus on that and, defeat the day. And, when that day comes and we're ready to suit up, I think we'll be ready to go.
Definitely. It's going to be another great season at Minnesota State. Thank you, Brendan, for opening up about that and your hockey journey and giving great advice to our audience. So I think now we're just going to open it up to a little bit of Q&A from those in the audience. So just type your question and we'll try and get them answered. See if there's already some. Okay, from our coach, are there any Blues fans on the call? Okay, we have Red Wings, Colorado, Tampa Bay, all great teams. Colorado, Tampa Bay just had a memorable Stanley Cup final. Okay, Brendan, where did you play youth hockey?
I played my youth hockey growing up. I was up and down with, I played in the Toledo area. I was in AA hockey, and then I would go up and play with numerous AAA teams. I played at Bell Tire, Little Caesars, Victoria Honda. So I was kind of up and down with, some of those programs. And then I went and, like I said, played high school hockey. And then went right from high school, played another year at Bell Tire and went to juniors.
Awesome. So from Landon McDonald, did you see the Red Wings win the cup growing up?
Yeah, I did. Back in 08, right? Is that, yeah, it was 08, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I got to see them win a cup, which was pretty cool. That was the year that we went back to back with Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh got them the next year. So that was really cool to be able to watch that.
Yeah, definitely a couple of Stanley Cup finals that were for the ages. Now, Joe, was your dad a coach?
Yeah, my dad was a coach. He coached my older brother. He coached me for a little bit. Yeah, so he was a huge mentor to me. He pushed me to get on skates when I was 3, and really kind of all the way through. Definitely got under my skin quite a bit, but definitely pushed me to keep going and to stay with it. And so I thank him for that.
Yeah, for sure. Can't thank the parents enough. So how do you start this question from Carson? I think it's a great question. How do you mentally get in a game? Do you have a game day routine?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So, I'll start with the game day routine. It kind of, like I said, I think routine's really important, especially when you have a lot going on in your life. As a college athlete, there's a lot of distractions. So being able to be on a routine is really good. And so my game day routine, it varies because we don't skate morning skates on Saturday, but Friday we have morning skate. So I'll wake up in the morning and I'll usually go for a walk or kind of get out and just get some fresh air and, kind of get my mind into the day. Don't really start thinking about the game too much. Show up to the rink and just kind of loosen up. Maybe I'll roll out for a little bit and then we go out for 20 minutes, shoot some pucks around, get some puck touches, and then get off, do what I got to do. Then we go eat pregame meal as a team. And then right as we leave pregame meal, we actually here at school, we turn in our phones. Our entire team does. So it's kind of just like we don't need any distractions. It's kind of time to go. So we get home and I chill for a little bit, take a little power nap, about 40 minutes. And right when I wake up, it's go time, put the suit on and we're out the door and we get to the rink. And I'm not really superstitious when I get to the rink. Yeah, I'll kind of do the same stuff in the same general time area, but not really too superstitious. I don't like to have superstitions because I think you can overthink it sometimes. Say if I don't, do something one game, then you start to overthink it. But then when it comes game time, when I'm putting the gear on, it's time to go. And I get in that mentality of you really start to dial it in and you start thinking about just different scenarios, different game situations, maybe last weekend, what you did poorly on and what you're going to really focus on doing better. Maybe you're going against their top line that night. So what are you going to do to shut them down? So there's little things like that you got to look at and I look at personally. But when I go out there, I really just soak it all in and warm-ups is fun and you get to see the crowds and the fans and interact with them. It's really cool. And then, when you're out there, you just got to have fun. It's been a game that, like I said, I've been on skates since I was 3. And so just being able to just have fun with it and just to play hockey like you're a kid again is, I think, really important. And I think that's a message that you can't forget is it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. So.
Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely a great pregame routine. I think the phone thing's awesome. That's actually, I've never heard of a team doing that. And it's definitely working for you guys. So another off ice type question from Quinn. How many hours of sleep do you recommend?
Definitely recommend. 7's good. I would say 8 and 9, between 8 and 9 hours are great. I think when I was in St. Louis, we actually went through like a class, like a sleeping class, and they recommended 8 to 9 hours and being able to put your phone down an hour before you go to bed, really just wind down, just doing the little things to make sure your body is getting the full rest it needs. Because when I'm rested and when I'm fully rested, if I don't get enough sleep, like if I get less than 8 normally, I can feel a difference on the ice. Normally I'm a little bit more dehydrated and my legs feel a little bit heavier. And so I would say 8 to 9 hours is definitely key. And really try to focus on sleep and hydration. Those are the 2 big things off the ice that I would recommend to any hockey player or athlete.
Yeah, it's a great answer. And I think that's, even great for when you're not playing hockey, getting good rest and hydration can be good for anything, especially school.
Right.
So Carson said also, what do you do for off ice training?
My off ice training has varied in recent years. I work with a personal trainer in Toledo. This past summer, I actually stayed at school and I worked with our trainer here, getting ready for camp. So right after the season was over, I took about a couple weeks off, and my training really consists of, I kind of go on a little bit of a schedule. Right after the season, you really just take all the time off. You decompress from the season, take a break, let your body get some rest, and then you start to ease back into it with little things like we like to play beach volleyball here and things like that, like just stuff to stay active, but you're not really like, working out yet or lifting weights. And then maybe like June comes around, we start just to lift weights and start pushing ourselves. And we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday weightlifting, and then Tuesday, Thursdays are like our agility days. So we work on like quick sprint stuff and stuff that's going to translate to speed on the ice, box jumps and broad jumps. And it's a lot of stuff that Project Hockey teaches. And then whenever I get an opportunity, we come to summer school. So we get the opportunity to skate with the team. So when we're out there, we get to try different things, and maybe I'll try, new sticks and things like that. And then we have an opportunity. We have like a shooting area. So I'll go and shoot pucks and stick handle and just do things like that. And I think that message is reiterated through Project Hockey. There's a lot of great drills that Danny showed me that I still use right now. And I use them on the ice, and our team uses them. So just little things like that. And the Project Hockey membership does a great job of showing what summer training is all about and how hockey players can get better.
That's a great answer, and it's awesome that something that Danny taught you, you're still using. It's a good answer for Carson. Carson, if you're looking for, off-ice training, I think we have a good solution for you. But great questions, guys. Is there any more that we can have for Brendan before we conclude? About a minute or so. Okay, we got a school question from Melissa. What are you majoring in?
I am majoring in sport management with a minor in marketing. I'm heading in that direction just because after hockey's over, I'd like to stay within the game of hockey, but try to work my way into like the front office. Hopefully maybe be a GM or a president or, director of player personnel or something like that. So that's kind of my goal with staying in the sport management field. Not just doing it to just do a cakewalk through school. I actually want to, learn from it and hopefully eventually use it after hockey's over and get a position in hockey, kind of in that front office space.
That's definitely a great plan. And I just have one question. You've played in a lot of places, especially in college. What's been your favorite place to play in so far?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Favorite place to play in? That UMass game when we came in last year and they had the banner rising night and we shut them out 2-0 and it was sold out in front of 11,000. That was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool moment. That hockey day in Minnesota day was unbelievable, being able to play outdoors even on our football stadium. That was really cool. And then obviously the Garden in front of 17,000 people. That's got to be number one. That was an unbelievable, place to play in. And then I would say in our league, Michigan Tech, because their fans are not, they're fun to play against. They're not nice. And so it's pretty fun to go there and get heckled a little bit and then shove it to them and, walk off the ice, hopefully with a W. So that's pretty fun to play in as well.
Yeah, it's definitely some great places to just listed off. I remember that game, seeing on Twitter how you guys just went into Amherst and just completely stunned the national championship crowd.
Yeah, it was really cool because their student section, I think they had over like 2,000 students at the game, and at the end of the game, they didn't know what to do or what to say, and that arena was silent. So it was pretty cool to silence 11,000 or whatever it was. So it was really cool.
Yeah, and I remember seeing the social media stories that day. People were waiting like 3 hours in line to get tickets. So
we showed up for the game. We were rolling up, and their lines were just they were miles long. Like there were so many people waiting to get into that building.
Yeah, I did that once for Providence when they had their banner raising like 7 years ago, and I think I forget who they played, but they scheduled not a good opponent for to get stunned on home ice. But yeah,
right.
Definitely would have been tough to wait that long and lose that game. But Brendan, thank you so much for doing this. All of us here at Project Hockey and everyone in the audience wish you the best of luck this year at Minnesota State. And me and Josh hope to see you in Tampa.
Awesome. Thank you.
Quick question. Chick-fil-A Canes or Slim Chickens?
Ooh. I haven't had Slim Chickens yet, but I heard it's really good. I heard it's similar to Canes, and I like Chick-fil-A over Canes. So I'm going to go with Chick-fil-A, but I don't know what Slim Chickens is like yet.
I'm gonna go Chick-fil-A, even though I've only had one of the three.
Yeah, there you go. We'll have to get you out to Minnesota to try some of them.
Yeah, Hockey Day in Minnesota. Hopefully they run it back this year. I think, all
Right.
right, Brendan.
Everyone,
thanks
thank
again.
you. Good
Thank
luck
you.
with the start of your season, everybody.